What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be upgrading our hammer hangers on our 3rd gen Tacoma, and then we're going to be also showing you guys a few other options that we have currently in the shop. So let's begin. So this here is our 3rd gen Tacoma 2017, and if you guys have been here before, you guys know we have the shock relocation towers and we have the hammer hangers in the back. So currently we have these ones here. These are the Archive Garage hammer hangers, and these have been amazing, but we did want to swap them out and try out some new ones. On the passenger side, we have already went ahead and installed the new Rago Fabrication hammer hangers, and you can kind of see already how beefy this is. So instead of 2 points here, there's actually 3 points. So this will make it a lot more rigid, so especially on something that holds up your the weight of your truck in the back. So the main reason why you would want hammer hangers is for the increased ride quality that you will get from these, being that they have the added shackle mounting points in the back here, and this will also give you more down travel. So if you guys are looking for more travel out of the rear of your truck, hammer hangers is the way to go. So if you guys are looking to increase ride quality in the back of your truck, shocks would be the first thing. Next would be the leaf packs, and then don't forget to do the hammer hangers as well. So these three all together will give you guys the best ride quality in the back. Another really nice thing about these hammer hangers is that they are greasable, so you can grease these so that way they will prevent or decrease the noise that comes in the back. So this is the back side of them. This is what they look like compared to the Archive Garage. Definitely beefier, and they are about the same height as far as this. So these two will provide almost the same amount of down travel compared to factory. Next to my Tacoma on the lift, we have Josh's Tacoma, aka the Dark Yoda, on Instagram. So you guys can kind of see here, he has a set of hammer hangers as well. These ones are made by Banff, or Bay Area Metal Fab. These ones are not as tall, so they don't provide as much down travel. The one thing to note with these as well is you can kind of see here the neck of the shackle mounting point right there. It's pretty narrow, so if you guys have Old Man Emu leaf packs, they note that you do have to cut it short on the Old Man Emu leaf packs. So if you do have those, you will have to cut it. Just when this thing is fully stuffed, that leaf pack extends and will contact right in here. So comparing the three here, Banff would probably be as close to factory as you can get. So if you guys want something that is close to factory, if you guys damage your factory ones, however, for some reason, of course, go with these ones here. But we kind of want more travel and everything, performance out of the ones that we install here. So we are going to go with the Rago Fabrication ones and try these out. Being that these are new, we don't know how they're going to perform it yet, but just from the build quality, the amount of height that it has on it, the point where it pivots is going to allow us to have more travel than the Archive Garage ones, from what we can see right now. But we can provide some more feedback once we test these out and see how they perform. So this right here is Jason's truck. Jason from Overland Eats, if you guys know him on Instagram, he does some amazing content with food and everything like that. So he currently has a all factory setup, so it's a good time to show you guys what a factory one looks like. So factory location shocks, he has Kings, and then he has factory hangers. So this is what a factory hanger will look like. So it's a lot thinner to begin with, and then you can see how short that height is. So basically this will have the least amount of travel out of the three vehicles that we have shown you, just because that spacing from the frame to the bottom of the actual hangers isn't that long. So this is what it will look like. So if you guys are installing this from a factory hanger to the Rago Fabrication one, there is a few things that you will need to cut off. For example, right there, that round thing, those are studs that you need to basically cut and use a hammer to get out. So we use something like an impact hammer to knock that out. So installing hammer hangers from factory is a little bit tedious, and it takes a lot of time to get those out, but it's extremely worth it in our opinion. So we're going to show you guys what we're going to do on ours. So first step here, we'll just take this bolt out here. Taking this off is going to be way easier than going from factory, being that we already have holes that we're going to be using, and then that big hole right there as well. So now we're taking off the bolts on the actual hangers themselves to the frame. Then we'll take out these ones up here on the frame as well. So here's a little size comparison right next to each other. So you can tell they're super beefy, especially that area right there as well, including the top. So when we took off that Archive Garage hammer hangers, you guys can see how crusty it is back there. So when we first did this, we used paint because we didn't know about Steelite coating back in the day. So what we're going to do, we're just going to clean it up, put some stainless steel paint on it, that way it doesn't rust, and put the new ones on. So we kind of had that same issue with our towers back in the day. So we sanded everything down and then used Steelite. And it's been about a year, and you guys can see here, everything looks really good still, besides the bolt. But wherever we use the Steelite, it looks great. All right, so we got some Steelite. We applied it up there. Looks way better than it did before. We didn't really care, or I didn't really care about cleaning up that one spot right there, since it's going to be behind this anyways. So a little pro tip here, we want to start with the actual leaf pack. So line this up here. Everything will just go in a lot easier if you do it this way. Put the bolt through, and what we're doing here, we got a pull jack just right under the axle so we can control up and down with it. We moved it all the way up, and you see those holes right there lined up. We can just put a bolt through just to hold it in place. And then on the back side of all of these, make sure you guys put a washer and a nylon locking nut on the back of them. And then we'll have two on the bottom here that goes into the frame. So once you have that kind of lined up, you can go ahead and push it through. So this is pretty easy to install since we already had hammer hangers in there before. But if you guys didn't have this, they would have those round rivets that I showed you guys on Jason's truck over there. So if you guys do have those, if you guys have something to cut the head with and just knock it out, it'll be the best way to do it. And like I said before, it's going to be a little tedious, but the finish and the ride quality is going to be well worth it. So first thing we're going to tighten up is the bottom. We're going to do that first, so that way it gets cinched up, and that'll be our place, since that one doesn't have any slots. And then you can go ahead and tighten the top. So now we got that nut on the back of this bolt here, and then this one you don't want to tighten until the truck is actually on the ground. And the reason being is you want this bushing to be at ride height, so that way when you tighten it, that's what it will be. Because if you tighten it now, when you lower it on the ground, it will actually twist a little bit and cause like premature wear on that bushing. One thing to note when you guys are actually installing these is that now that you have extra down travel, you guys will need extended brake lines, just because the factory ones are not going to be long enough, and you don't want to overstretch them and actually rip them, and then of course lose your brakes. So make sure you guys get extended brake lines if you guys do aftermarket hangers. Okay, so we are all done with the install, and of course we are going to show you guys what the hangers, the shackles, could do for you guys if you guys installed them. So like we said before, the biggest things are going to be the ride quality. Obviously we can't show you guys that, but we could show you guys the extra travel you guys could get from it. So if you guys do off-road, having more travel in the rear and in the front is going to be a big plus. So we're going to show you guys how. So what we have here is our Tacoma on a forklift. We are just trying to simulate if you guys were driving over a boulder in the front. This here currently is about 20 inches off the ground. And let me see if I can grab a measuring tape. So right there, you guys can kind of see there, it's about 22, 23, almost 2 feet off the ground. So for example, if you guys were to wheel your Tacoma and you guys were trying to or need to drive over a almost 2 foot boulder, your rear tire would still be on the ground just because that extra travel you guys have in the rear. Extra travel will mean up and down travel, but in this case the down travel is what you guys would need to keep the tire on the floor. So why would you guys need to keep your tire on the floor? Well, if you guys have ever been in the position where you guys only have 3 tires on the ground, that tippy feeling is not great. So having the amount of travel to keep your tires on the floor is extremely nice. So this is not fully maxed out. As you guys can see here, we still have a little bit of room, but we do have the shock relocation towers, so this could go a lot more, maybe a couple 5 inches more than where it's at right now. But we wanted to show you guys what you could get if you guys just did the shackle hangers. So keep in mind that I don't have the full fender flares. I'm missing a couple inches just because I have 35-inch tires and I trimmed that just to make as much clearance as possible. So this is what it'll look like. This is the benefit that I was talking about if you guys want more travel out of your hangers in the rear end. And here is the driver's side. So you see here, I can definitely go a little bit more, get that fully tucked in there. All right guys, that is going to be it for this video. We will have the shackle hangers down in the description if you guys are interested in getting the set. Like I said in this video though, install is not going to be easy. If you guys have the tools to do it, you guys can definitely do it. It's just a little bit tedious, being that you do have to cut that rivet head and use like an air hammer to get it out. But it's well worth it if you guys are actually serious about off-road and increasing your ride quality and getting more travel out of it. But if you guys can't, there's a lot of shops that will do it. It's a pretty simple job. It just takes a little bit of time. But we will see you guys next time. Peace.